Hello, family. Welcome back to my edition of whatever. I haven't quite decided what I'm gonna call everything yet. My website is called Pirate Medz, PIRATEMEDZ, Pirate Medz. My name is Naira. I'm an author and an herbalist. I wrote a book called Basic Instructions Before Eating Earth, and I've been tinkering with YouTube for a little while. Um, I bring various topics. I really like to talk a lot about health, but I do talk about other things too. So I haven't really found like where I want to drive or focus my topic. But today I'm coming to talk to you guys about the stimulus checks that will be coming out. It's going to be like $600. Now, Trump, he signed this bill in the middle of the night, not really the middle of the night, but the middle of the day on a Sunday, not in front of cameras and everything. So everybody is like, well, they didn't even know. Like, nobody really even knew. But I used to be, according to the media, like I follow the media, and I used to call Trump, President Trump, Cheeto Man and all types of stuff. But now I learned to have respect for Trump. Like he's definitely a businessman. He looks out for America, and I feel like being able to say Black Power means that white people should be able to say white power. Nobody should be able to kill anybody. We should be able to live here together. But the whole premise of America was that people would come and live and be free. Now, black people, we're fighting so that we can actually live free. Like, being a black man is not the easiest thing to do in America. The fathers have been, taken away from the family for the last 4 generations. So we have experienced some injustice. So it's not to say that we don't want to say Black Lives Matter only, but that we would like to rebuild our family structure. We would like to rebuild after years of being incarcerated for the most minor things. That now when marijuana was something that we was just trying to sell family to family, not even growing it ourselves, so we had to be getting it from the higher ups. But how many young men have been denied jobs now because they got felonies because they were selling drugs and wasn't able to take care of their family. So then our social structures were just breaking. It was just broken down from something simple that now is a household item. Like I smoke, and you know many people use CBD oils, rubbing on their knees and all types of stuff. So it's a lot of things that are going on that have been used against the black community. But I appreciate President Trump because under President Trump, a black business is able to thrive. Like a black person called me and was like, "Yo, you need a job? My girlfriend got a business, and I make legit money. Like I'm not just working at the store." So I feel like it's been opportunity under President Trump. A lot of people they don't see it yet because they used to vote in Democrat because grandma voted Democrat, mommy voted Democrat, auntie voted Democrat, and I always have thought different. When I was younger, I voted for Bush. The first time that I ever was allowed to vote, I voted for Bush, and it was because I was like, why is John Kerry running on his ticket based off the fact of like homosexuality? And my whole thing is, I don't feel like we need rights based on what we want to have sex with. I mean, what you do in your private life is your private life. If you want to be a homosexual man, I feel like it shouldn't spill over to your job. I feel like it that's not something for the workplace. It's not something for, you know, why are the whole bathroom fight and all that other stuff. I feel like at the same time that gay people want rights, straight people want rights. Like a mother that's raising her son and wants to be able to raise her son without him having to see other men walking around with wigs and stuff. Like now, it's a big thing for a man to wear a wig, and I'm like President Trump is he's just for protecting. I mean, what's taboo is being protected, and it's like we living in a world where um, what's considered what was considered right or what God considered right or what the and this is one nation under God, and God had rules, and we just breaking all the bands of those rules, and marriage isn't between a woman and a man. I understand if you love somebody of the same sex. I do. I understand love, because love to me is me as a parent. My kids, I'm raising them to be the best people that they can be, but I don't enforce my will upon them, but teaching them what's right. Like, for example, if my son, and I hope I never had to eat these words, but if my son came to me and he said, Mom, I think that I'm gay, and I had to look at my son and say, okay, son, well, do you know what this lifestyle entails? Because a lot of homosexual men, and these are facts, deal with HIV in that community. A lot of those men um, deal with shame. A lot of those men deal with suicide. Um, and nobody talks about this part of the gay lifestyle. Nobody ever sits down and says, this is a statistic that we're dealing with. Like, these men um, kill themselves because of the shame of it. You know, after you use your hind parts to have sex for years, that it's not like a woman. A woman is built to have a baby, and her vagina can open up this big and then go back to this. But your butt, it just does not do that. It's not made for that. It opens up to release and closes. But if you constantly stuffing stuff up there, you won't be able to sneeze. You won't be able to sneeze, and that's this is real talk. I'm not a Christian station. I am a Christian, but I'm going to talk about whatever. You're going to see me like my L's. I'm here, and I want to talk about real stuff, and I want to be real with you. We in my bedroom. I ain't really cleaned up. It's dirt over there, but I we got to talk about the consequences of living that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And people don't talk about that. People don't talk about the hundreds of thousands of men that have contracted HIV from other men and then gave it to women that they was when they was high in, or that's how this whole thing spread so bad. You know what I'm saying? It's not like God was like, oh, I'm going to put something on them. No, but you can basically find out the men that's sleeping with the men, because this disease is within their community. Even within our medical community, if a man gets a disease, the first question they go ask him, like, are you gay? Not straight. Are you gay? So we haven't discussed a lot of stuff in our community before. We have to educate ourselves. We have to educate ourselves. We have to educate our kids. If my son came to me, these are the talks that I would have with him before, even sleeping with a woman, you can get herpes, you can get syphilis, you can get gonorrhea, you can get trichomonas, you can get any of these things. But the chances of having HIV are at the highest when you want to live this gay lifestyle. And we as mothers, we have to make a better effort to raise our sons with their fathers, because a father is so important to the household. Just being able to teach your son how to have a skill, he won't know how to paint if the dad doesn't. teach them to paint. These men wouldn't be out shooting each other if they had a man in the house that breaks that spirit of pride that's on these boys. They don't know. They never been humiliated. So the first time they get humiliated, or the first time somebody tell them no on the street, now they out shooting them because mama ain't never been able to tell him to sit down. But I know me. Even if I'm a single mom, even if I'm a single mom, I got a brother, I got an uncle, I got a dad, and I don't stand in the way. And I'm gonna tell you, I have tried. You know, my dad was telling my son, stop peeing on the toilet. And I had said, Dad, don't yell at my son, blah, blah, blah. And my son is in here pissing on the toilet. I don't get in the way of what my dad is trying to tell my son or his dad is trying to tell him. I don't get in the way. So as a woman, I I beg women to stop because there's too many boys out here that can do hair. There's too many. I don't let my son, and even if he, help his sister do something, he for Christmas he got his own stuff. He got his own everything. And I encourage us women to go harder to find, trades, programs for our sons to be in so that they're not standing around holding up the corner. Come on. He not meant to, you just going to arm your son with a gun. It's men out that have guns. It's men out that have all the things that these little street boys want, but they have skills as well. Like a white man with a gun and a Tech 9 and an automatic, semi-automatic weapon, he also can fish, he also can hunt, he also can build. So at the end of the day, he ain't just protecting the corner. He got a legacy to leave behind, and that's what we not teaching our men. What are you protecting? You out here patrolling, but what? And for what? When are we going to get out this hood? When are we going to do, like, we should be building each other up. So this turned from the stimulus, but I told you this, my channel is not about just one thing. Like, I have a lot to say, and I just feel like, I'm a black person, and I used to not support Trump, but I do. And I used to, I can't go with the flow. I can't go with the flow of what's going on with everybody. But I am happy we got our little $600. They will go and vote and see if we're gonna get $2,000. But then what are you gonna do with that $2,000? What are you gonna do? You're gonna invest in some Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin. I keep a couple dollars in there. And I pull it out through Cash App. Cash App is the fastest way to invest in stocks and take your money out maybe the next day. I've tried the Robinhood thing too. Robinhood's pretty good. I bought a cryptocurrency through Robinhood, and I do like it. And I encourage you to look for the cryptocurrencies that aren't have been around for a while and are slowly progressing, but that you can buy a whole share of it, so that by the time that the shares do get, you know, worth something, you'll have thousands of shares of them versus uh, chips of a Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Like a chip of a Bitcoin. Who really has $18,000? I don't even have curtains yet. So who has $18,000 to buy a whole Bitcoin? To wait for it to go up and down and up and down and up and down. But the Bitcoin definitely, I watched that joint, and it definitely went from about 18,000 to 27,000. So it's growing. It's worth it if you have money in your Cash App and you're just using it as, a bank. Put the money over in Bitcoin and let it grow while you need to use it. And so, like, let's say if you need to pull out some, you just pull out a little bit of it, whatever you're trying to use it for, and then let the rest of it keep growing. I doubt that it would drop significantly and you would lose a whole bunch of money, but that's why you keep your eye on it. But the Robinhood, when you put money over in Robinhood, look at that shit like it's gone. Look at that like you done bought some bud and you smoked it and it's gone. And whatever you invest in it, You just want to let it go for the long haul. That's how I feel about Robin Hood. Like, I got that money, but I ain't got that money today. You understand? So that's how I feel about Robin Hood. Any other things that I want to say to you? Take it easy on President Trump. Respect him, because he really had our best interests at heart. Um, if you check out how like just protesting this year, protesters got further than anything. Now TV stations are being forced. People were being called out his whole presidency for the racist stuff that they did. President Trump gave up fame, not fortune, but fame, and being revered by other celebrities to tell on their asses, put their asses out there, and make sure that we was safe as Americans and to protect our American freedoms. It doesn't matter that the Proud Boys want to say they white, because we want to be able to say we black, and that's freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is me being able to sit here and talk about whatever with this blunt and say, I, as a black woman, support President Trump. He is the president, put president in front of his name, because one day you're going to look back and say, oh, he had my best interest at heart. People will say they don't like Hitler, but I drove a Beetle. And somebody told me that the story behind the VW Beetle was that Hitler said these people are spending their whole lives to pay for these cars, and I don't like that. I want them to be able to have a small enough car to get around and afford it, and they created the Beetle. And that car served not only Germans, but Americans. And when I got my first car, it was a VW Beetle. It was like a 1999 or 98 VW. It was black. It was my favorite little car. I didn't have any kids at the time, so it was a really nice car. But one thing about it was, when I went to get out in the snow, that puppy ran, honey. It ran. It never left me on the side of the road. It was a well-built machine. Okay? So, all I want to say is, we hear a lot in the media about people, and they call these people bad, and they call these people tyrants. But I encourage you to re-examine every single thing that you've ever heard, ever read, ever saw. Also, I need you to subscribe to my channel. Go and watch some of my videos. I got Black Seed videos. I got health videos. I do have a website, Pirate Medz. I am on Instagram at T_4_A_reason. And I also have another one called Moral of the Story. In between every word, there is an underscore. Um, I try to give my opinion. It's the world through my four eyes. I always wear glasses. And I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you how I see it, how the Lord gives it to me, maybe a different opinion, but you'll like it. I give health tips. I've been a lot of places and seen a lot of things, but what I do know, I can tell you. So, you be blessed. Remember, Emmanuel, that means God is with you. He is for you. He's going to see you through. And anything that you're thinking about, you can manifest it. Anything that you're thinking about, anything that you want, anything that you desire, you can manifest it. So, in the word of Lil Wayne, we're going to mastermind, then go after mine. You got to master what you want to do before you go after it. Don't just put it out as you're going, because somebody might come up and master that. So, master yours, then go after yours. All right?